One requested that I share my thoughts on Telcoin. This is not a coin that I currently trade, but it is something that I do keep an eye on from time to time. I know that several people have traded this over the years and, made quite a good amount of money. Just coming out to the weekly view, again, always zooming out first and asking yourself, what is the macro story so far? I think you clearly can make the argument that this was a macro wave one. So, just looking at it, if you measure that macro wave one and assume that's a wave one, where did we strike for wave two? Literally to the pip, the 618. So, what does that tell you? Well, I think you have to, any reasonable person has to deduce that this market is ran by market wide algorithms. There just is no argument or no way to make the case that it's not when you can literally measure to the pip, and I'm getting as tight on those lows and bottoms as I can, and then it perfectly strikes the 618. I mean, what is that, right? So, yeah, TEL has had a good bounce here off the assumed macro wave two, and now it's starting to put in a series of 1-2-1-2s. Again, very hard, but if I wasn't in this coin yet, I would probably go ahead and start a trade position now. We're about to close the weekly here this evening in about the next, 7 or 8 hours. So I would say it's safe to take a trade here. Just understand you're going to want to put a stop loss here below this recent low on what day? Let's get to the daily and see what day that was. So yeah, I would place a stop below 0.00318, 3189, 3188. Maybe give yourself a little room there. But I would go ahead and put a stop loss there. Go ahead and take the trade here, because what it looks like we've done is we've put in a series of 1-2s. Again, I don't like this Elliott Wave structure here, but you kind of take what the market gives you, and Elliott Wave is not a perfect science. So, I would say that we've come off the 618 here with a series of 1-2, 1-2, and now we're getting ready. And let's just measure that wave there and see where we bounced. Okay, so we front ran the 618 there. But yeah, this is looking bullish. It's looking like we have a sign of strength here. So taking a trade position here. And then where do we look for as to where this coin could go? Like, what would be our price target? Well, if we assume that Telcoin is a good, sound project, I don't know anything about the fundamentals of Telcoin, but just looking at price action, obviously I would take a trade here, put a stop where I said earlier, and then I would look for us to take out this recent high, the recent high back in February of this year. If we break above this, then you really start getting into the question of, are we putting in a macro wave 3 for Telcoin? If we are, then a macro wave 3 for Telcoin could easily take us up to $1.96, maybe as high as $3. And then we chop and we correct. So that's where I would be looking. I wouldn't be looking at any higher targets than that for now. I would want Telcoin to convince me that we're going on a macro, Elliott Wave, 5-wave structure. So this would have been our 1 off the bottom here. This would be our 2. This would be our 3. This would be our 4. And perhaps that would be our 5. Okay. So again, we don't really know until the market gives us that information. This is, of course, a newer token. Well, not newer. I mean, it's been around since 2019, 2018. But it is something that we really don't have a lot of data to go on. So yeah, I think a trade here is a safe play. I think the argument can be made that we bounced off the 618 of the macro count. We've put in a 1-2, 1-2. Typically after a 1-2, 1-2 combo like that, you get a very strong wave 3, which would tend to line up with the market narrative of everything else, Bitcoin, Stellar, XRP, all these tokens. So I think that would line up with the overall argument and the risk on liquidity coming into the market. So while I've been talking about it, it's been going up even a little bit more. So I might as well take a a $50 flyer on it. Let's see if it's offered on MEXC. It is. So I'm going to go ahead and take a $50 flyer on it at 20x leverage, and we'll see where we go. So that's what you have to do in this, in this situation. If we do get that Elliott Wave extension up to, let's just say 99 cents, my $50 risk here would net me, hold on, I'll give you a price estimate. So yeah, a $50 play here, if we do go up to 96 cents, that would give me $197,000 on that $50 risk. You might say, you're crazy. Well, stranger things have happened in crypto. So anyway, guys, hope that helps you. So yeah, I just took a $50 risk on Telcoin, and we'll see if it nets me $197,000 by the end of this crypto bull market cycle. Playa, ching ching. Later.